I love your question, and it's so important. We should be doing this from babies. So when a child comes home from school and they're maybe 3 or 4 years old and they're sad, they don't have the language, but to be able to actually notice and validate. I see you feeling sad. Why are you sad? And give them toys to be able to act it out. The older they get, never overlook a child's emotion. Always validate. I see you sad. Do you want to talk about it? I see you. So it's I see you. Do you notice I'm saying I see you? And you can find your own wording of that, but it's to acknowledge, which validates, and never to judge or say, oh, you don't need to feel like that. What parents do a lot unintentionally. I'm a parent of 4. I did it even with all my knowledge. I have, so we make mental messes. I say we make mental messes all the time. But it's very important not, your child comes to you and says, I'm really worried. And then you say, what are you worried about? I'm worried about this one doing something that you think is totally irrelevant. Oh, that's not so bad. You don't have to worry about that. That is the worst thing you can do to a child, because what you've done is invalidate something that for them is, now they feel shame. So now they've got this confusion of worry. They don't know how to process it. And you know what parents do that.
And you haven't accepted their feelings or their thoughts.
That's it. So it's very important, even if you don't think that it's valid, you're not helping them saying, and I know it's done often with the intention of, oh, it's not so bad, it'll be okay. Calm down. Don't do that. It's rather sit down and embrace it. Say, okay, let's talk about how you're feeling. Why do you think you go through the 5 steps? I've actually got in my Neurocycle app, I've got a whole thing on how to use neurocycling for children. And I've written books in the past, but now we're doing the updated versions of neurocycling for Brainy Tots, neurocycling for young kids, teenagers, whatever. So exactly how to have the conversations. But it's openness. One of the things that I have as a parent, and I've worked with I used to do a lot of family therapy when I practice, and as the advice I always gave parents, and that I've tried to apply as much as possible, is keep your environment open. Keep it, no matter what your kids, if your kids want to talk to you about sex and things that you don't want to talk about, if you don't want to talk about them, they're going to talk about them somewhere else. And that goes for emotions too. We've got to allow our kids to say, I am feeling depressed. The other day, someone said, how do I help my child not be a professor of depression? And it was quite an interesting way of phrasing it. And my response to that was, well, help them process it. If they're a professor of depression, what can you learn from them? If you feel that they are so good at depression, that's a symptom or a signal of something going on. You need to acknowledge that and say, I see you feeling depressed. Can you explain more? And then work through get those, the 5 steps, work through it systematically. You can use a lot of visuals with kids. I've been doing this with kids when I was practicing and training in schools and things as young as 3. And I would take the brain. Listen, 3-year-olds respond to this. And I'll say, this is in your brain. And we'll take a tree. Okay, so now this is the happy tree, the sad tree.